obviously it was a tough loss on Saturday night, but is it easier to rebound from a loss that's kind of lopsided rather than losing the last play of the game?
I think any loss is tough to swallow for us, especially since our standard is so high. But I think that the good thing with this team is that we're always hungry and we're ready to bounce back for this week.
So, just like he said, we're just ready for this week, ready to bounce back this week, and ready to keep on stacking this ladder, keep on climbing up this ladder. And we had a fall last week, but this week we're gonna keep raising the standard. It doesn't really mean anything to us. We have to keep getting better and better every day. So, can't wait to get better this week.
Yeah.
Trey, what was the attitude on the plane flying back? Tough loss, you got a long flight, lots of time to think about it. What were you guys talking about on the plane? What were you guys?
Well, I think for the most part, everybody was just tired. It was a long flight, so I know I went to sleep for most of it because it kind of felt like a nightmare. But I just wanted to just kind of escape from that and just, get back to San Diego and just kind of watch the film, look back at it, and just clean up all the mistakes that we made tonight and just move forward.
Same thing, a lot of mistakes, our unit. Specifically, just thinking about that, it's hard for me to sleep, but I ended up falling asleep. It was a long flight, red eye, but, just was ready just to get better this week and fix all the mistakes we had during our last game, because I feel like if we really played to our best ability, we really had that game, and we didn't play to our standard, and we're going to fix those mistakes this week.
From your aspect of the offense, what happened? Why wasn't the offense quite as accurate as it had been?
Just not playing, not dial into our details, everything we go over every single day. Coach Lewis talks about the things that take no talent, and I feel like we didn't really apply those this game, and we have to dial into those details this week and focus on our fundamentals, and we'll be good.
Trey, the defense has been so dominant recently, so it's uncharacteristic to see 15 missed tackles, giving up big plays. From your perspective, what do you think went wrong?
Yeah, I just think we weren't being ourselves. We weren't playing to our standard. And we had a couple self-inflicted wounds that kind of ended up costing us and turned into big momentum shifts for Hawaii. And I feel like we can't have those if we want to be the team that we want to be. We can't have those self-inflicted wounds. So we know we got to get better from that. And we need players to step up when their number is called on. And once we have that and everybody locks in this week, we'll be good. Okay, we'll be good.
You guys still control your own destiny to host the championship game. If someone would have told you that at the beginning of the season, how would you have taken that?
I would have believed it because I knew what type of team we had. I was telling everybody in the room that this team is special. I've been saying that from the beginning, since media day, and I feel like nobody really took it seriously until now. And we knew what type of team we had this whole time, so I'm not surprised where we are right now. We just got to keep working, keep the standard where it is, and just keep stacking days.
This question's for both of you guys. Obviously, you guys in Boise State come into this tied at top of Mountain West, so this is a huge game. How big is it that for this matchup that you guys can control your destiny if you get a win?
Yeah, it's huge. We need all the support we can get from our fans as well. It's great to have them there. They're a huge energy boost for us. So, we just want to come out strong, and we know this is basically like a championship game type of mindset for us. So, we got to come out, and we know the challenges that Boise gives us. I haven't beat Boise since I've been here, so that's definitely one of my goals.
Yeah, definitely. Like Trey said, it's one thing we're gonna get better this week to show the fans who we our standard and what we really are. So all the fan support and everyone's coming out to this game, it really, really means a lot. It really gives energy, like Trey said, to the whole team, and it really makes a difference in the game. So we're ready to compete in this game because it's going to be a good game. They're a really talented team, and we're really treating this like a championship game.
I guess just looking back, because the last time it went wrong on the road was Wazoo, what did you guys kind of build off of in that week that you guys can reflect on? Because that next week you guys played Cal here and everything went well. How do you look back on that and maybe use some of that as you go into play Boise?
I would say that that week was a hard week for us coming back. We definitely were just looking into our team and seeing what went wrong, and we're gonna treat it like that week as well, or like any other week. We just have to focus on us and focus on our details, our standard, and really that just overall is gonna help us prepare for this game this week.
Yeah, we know after the Wazoo loss, we had a bye. So we had a little bit of extra time to kind of look into ourselves and hone into the details, but we don't have that much time to get ready for that. It's a shorter week, so we have to really focus on the sense of urgency. Sense of urgency has to go up in practice. It starts in practice, so once we hone in on those details in practice, sense of urgency goes up. Everybody's, flying around at practice. I feel like that's the biggest thing we have to fix.
Is it easier not to have a bye because maybe you don't dwell on it as much as you might have?
I honestly think it is. I don't like to think about a loss too much. It's hard when you have a bye after a loss, but it's easier to flush the game when you have a new opponent the next week. So I feel like it is easier.
Which Boise quarterback do you expect to play, and how do you prepare for?
I'm not sure which Boise quarterback is expected to play. I hope Ford plays so we get Boise's best. But if not, then it is what it is. I feel like they're pretty similar quarterbacks for the most part, but Ford can definitely extend the plays. I feel like their backfield isn't injured at all, so their backfield is there. They have the same O-line, so I feel like it's still going to be the same Boise team no matter what quarterback plays.
Trey, can you speak to the challenge of their backfield with 2 or 3 really capable runners or having success? Obviously, they're old-fashioned Genty, but you look at the combined success they're having it. You guys have been terrific against the run. How critical is it, and what will it take to slow down that group?
Yeah, it's going to be huge for the D-line this week, front 7. What kind of challenge Boise faces brings us. They have 3 great backs that can, all take it the distance, and we really just gotta hone into our run fundamentals and just know what team we are. We're great against the run, and we just can't let up on that standard. And their O-line has been great in protection and blocking as well for those backs, and those backs can create their own space and moves as well. And it's going to be definitely a hard battle in the trenches, but we're ready for it.
Lucky, can you speak to how you've kind of evolved as the season's gone on? Maybe not specific with the Hawaii game, but the 2 games prior to that, you had established career highs in rushing yardage. How do you feel as the season is progressing?
I try to improve and compete every single day, every week, trying to get better every single week. O-line, all of that is to the O-line. Without this O-line, they're really, really getting better as well. So without them, they get better. They really get the energy to the whole offense. So as they get better, everyone else, individuals start getting more success. So shouts out to the O-line. They really are getting better, and I'm really thankful for them.
What impact did the rain have on Saturday night, if any?
It's just we just got to roll with it. I feel like we weren't expecting the rain to be the whole entire game. I know we were expecting some rain, but they were playing in the rain too, so it really didn't have an impact.
Tomorrow's Veterans Day. What do you guys think about the reflection on what that means to the school?
It means a lot. My dad retired from the Navy, so I'm from a military family, and all the veterans, we all play for them, play for everybody, and just salute to all the veterans, all the military that are out there. And if any veterans are coming to the game, it would be really appreciative, and we're gonna try to put out a game for all of them.
Yeah, I feel like our off season was pretty much centered around people that put their lives on the line for us, and it's a huge thanks to them. Shout out to them, and we appreciate their service for sure. Us going to the fire department as well. We went to a military base over the off season. We kind of have that military mindset. We can't leave our brothers, can't let our brothers down, and I feel like we take a lot of things from them, so we appreciate them.